Now, we did something a little bit different this year. I'm going to actually escape out of this slide deck here, and I'm going to share with you a new screen here because COVID really gave us an opportunity to do so many things here, virtually. I mean, we all learned so much. And so it kind of gave us an opportunity to take a step back a bit and really try and think of in the old days of last year, or actually a year and a half ago, we had the program guide that was printed. Now, this year with so many things being in flux and changing, usually we prepare all of that kind of at the beginning of the year of February and March. Then we try and get those out the door in April so that you have tools in your hands. But of course, COVID is still kind of helped us along in terms of becoming wiser and smarter in terms of using digital resources and virtual planning tools and things like that. So what we've done here, and you can actually see this today. We are still working on it and finalizing it. However, I'm going to show you where we're at today, and you can actually play with it as we speak. If you who are on this right now or watching, you can actually go to cpcbsa.org and you can go to tools here, and we have this little link called program planning here. That's under here. Give me 1 second. And it's cpcbsa.org/tools/program planning. And what you'll do is you'll go to this page. It's a new page that talks a bit about these two guides we have. I'm going to show them to you right now. What we have done is we've created two Google slide decks, one for Cub Scouts and one for the older Scouts that you can use as a template. And what it has in here, and I'll show you here in a second, is it's literally a month by month calendar of everything that we know as of today. And we've plopped it in here so that you can edit it. You can create a copy, you'll edit it, and you'll share it with your Scout unit. So we're hoping this is a tool that will be something that we can continually add on to. It also saves us a lot of cost from not having to print something and mail it out. So this is a bit of a test, but we've been really experimenting. Think it's going to be a good way to go. What you'll see on this page actually is a little bit of information about program planning itself. It has a little bit of directions here on these new program planning guides and how it actually works. Now, these little directions that you see here are actually in the guide itself, so you can actually see that if you want to share with people. I'm going to show you in just a second. You have two pieces here. You have Cub Scouts, we have the older Scouts groups, of course. And of course, we have all these old links that if you were here before and we had links on our old web page, these are all here as well. So lots and lots of resources. However, what we've also done within these is we've added links to the resources that we think you'll need. So let's dive in, shall we? So the first thing, the only real hiccup, I think, is the fact that you have to have a Gmail account to open these because it is in Google Slides. We're trying to find something that pretty much everybody can use. And most people seem to have Gmail addresses because of school and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, however, if you don't, it's really easy to set one up for your unit. For instance, I'm going to show you Troop 107. We have ours here. So I logged into it. And all I have to do is click on, let's do the troop one, since this is a scout troop we're talking about here. I click on this. And what it is it is the template, the master here of the annual planning template. You can see here, Scouts BSA annual planning template or master. Now it has the directions here where I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to go to file because this is a view only version of this. I'm going to go file and then I'm going to say make a copy of the entire presentation. Then I can start tweaking it and adding our own events and whatnot. What the hope is here is that you have something that you can totally virtually work with your Scout unit on. So for instance, I as Scoutmaster can create this. We'll plan another meeting, Monday night at 7 o'clock. Let's all walk through this and see what we want to do with the Scouts, right? So we all can work on it and say, like, here's our planning meeting, whether it's do you have a PLC, a group of youth who are helping out with the planning, or it's parents, or both, however you work it. This should be pretty easy to work on virtually. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to file, make a copy. So I'll go file, make a copy of the entire presentation. Whoop. I'm actually just going to rename it because right now it just says copy of, and I'm going to call this Scouts BSA Planning. Instead of master, I'll change the name to T107. That's just the thing that we use is T107. And I'll say okay. Now, remember, of course, like I said, you can actually start a Gmail address for your Scout unit. We like that because we actually drive all the web forms from our website, which I mentioned before in a previous webinar about how to build a website on Wix. Really, really easy. So check that out at cpcbsa.org/webinars, and constantly replugging everything. That's my job. So, and I love doing it. So you can easily make a Gmail address that we then drive our web forms to and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, we got a lead from our website just today, actually yesterday. So there you have it. Proof that it actually can work. So anyway, this has all the details, all the how-tos. So it says, okay, I've made my copy of the entire presentation. I'm going to change the file from, well, it says Cub Scout, but we're not. I'm going to change it to T107 Annual Planning Guide. And I can say troop or crew, ship, whatever it is, 107. And I'll put the Cascadia. This is just for the parents. We all can remember who we are in our Cascadia district here. So I can put that in here. Now you'll see here, what we have is we can put all of our contacts. I'm public, so you all know who I am. So I'll put Chris Bartel here as a Scoutmaster. I can then fill this out and put all of our contact information here. But you see, I actually have this is now ready and raring to go. Now what we've got here is, I'm going to walk through this real quick. This planning guide is for August 2021, for instance. And what it has here is district and council events and deadlines. So these things that we're going to plug and tell you about and everything like that. And we're going to try and keep these fresh and updated, of course, with the latest and greatest. And what's cool is that when you get your compass points and whatnot, and you want to add something to it, you can add something to it. Super, super easy, right? And then I can say our troop events and deadlines. I can say first meeting Tuesday, and I can't remember what it is in August, but Tuesday, blah, 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 at 7 p.m. And we all know when we're doing that. Now, here's the other thing we've added in here is a checklist of what you should be doing or kind of thinking about from a unit perspective here. So what's great is now we've got a little checklist. Okay, we need to review our annual calendar with all the scouts and parents. We need to review the guide to safe scouting. And hey, look at that. There's a link to it. I can just click on this and pull up the guide to safe scouting. Boom, right there. And all the parents can too, and all the scouts can, whoever has access to it. Because of course I can click share here and I can share this with the Scout unit, anybody I want to. I find, although it's easier to just make it public, I mean, this is not secret stuff, at least for us anyway. So a lot of times just making it public is a little bit easier. But what's great is people can look at this throughout the summer, right? Wherever people are traveling or whatnot, and they don't have time, and you want to send a reminder, hey, I know you're hanging out in Yosemite, but if you have a second, could you check out slide number 14, please? Anyway, so it has all of the links here. So then we've got review our unit marketing and essentials slide. Now check this out. So what we have is a link to the unit marketing and 10 essentials slide. So this actually links to the slide that's here in the page. Here we've got the top 10 essentials for promoting your awesome Scout unit. So this is the stuff that I put together for you. And of course, there are links to everything here too. So learn how to differentiate your unit with a unique description involving scouts and parents, also known as an elevator pitch. We can learn how by clicking on the Branding Your Scout Unit webinar. So that link is in there too. So the point is we're trying to create a real resource. It's real clickable, it's super user friendly, and hopefully works out really easily for you. So also, and please provide feedback to us. info@cpcbsa.org. Please send us in feedback, whatever you want, because we want to learn more. Really create something that's very easy to share, easy to edit. Because here's what's also neat about this: you can create a PDF of this, you could print it out or whatnot. But again, hey, trying to save paper, and think of the outdoor code, right? So what we have here is you can see all the deadlines, all the checklists, all of these kinds of things. And what we're actually have here too is I'm going to share with you. Let me click on one more here. Let's go back to the Cub Scout one just to take a peek at that. So let's look at that one just for fun. Again, kind of a little bit in flux here, but we're finishing these up as we speak. But I wanted to show you a little bit of difference, because what's not in the Scouts BSA one yet, but will be by this afternoon, because working on it right now, is we've actually created some themes for the month. Now, this is great because from a marketing perspective, it's going to help. From a communications perspective, it's going to help, but also just to kind of help us get focused and kind of on some really great Scouty themes. So for instance, in August, we have Be Prepared. September, we have Do Your Best. Hey, school's in session. Let's all do our best. We have October is A Scout is Kind, because we'll celebrate diversity, family, and kindness toward others. in November, Scout is Helpful. Great month to think about being helpful, right? We have lots of food drives, all that kind of stuff. And then we have December as a Scout is Reverent, and we talk about the theme being celebrating all faith walks and personal journeys with our duty to God and honoring the beliefs of others. So that kind of thing. So what's neat is a vision I have as the marketing director for the council is that I really want to encourage us all as Scout units to start telling our story, sharing with the world our Facebook pages or our websites, because you know what? If we've got 500 Scout units out there and every Scout unit posts one story, one neat story a week, that's 500 stories a week that get out there times 52 weeks a year, right? We're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of posts that also not only promote your unit, but the Cascade Pacific Council can share that if you share it with us and it's a public thing, a public Facebook page, for instance, we can share it with everybody. So it rises us all up and gives lots of folks awareness about who we are, what we do, all the adventures we go on, things like that. So January 2022, physically strong, mentally awake, right? We're going to celebrate the new year because everybody's going to make resolutions, right? And talk about mental and physical health. So things like that. So kind of fun. You can kind of see here that we're adding links to everything, and it should be really easy for you all to plan your calendar. Now, the thing also, just lastly, I'm just going to say this real brief here, is we link to elements within the calendar, whether it's inside of the presentation or outside. But at the end of this, too, is that you'll see as we scroll down here a whole bunch of resources, how we keep scouting safe, fall popcorn sale, right? So we've got some more details that, so it links to web pages and whatnot, but also it links to it right here so parents can just sort of see what's going on. We've got some great resources and downloads here. So annual program budgets, pack budget worksheets. I mean, there's tons of great resources. And I would say if you are a Scout unit that really likes a template that you use, let's say it's an Excel spreadsheet or a promotional template or a flyer or whatever it is, share that with us. Okay, send it to info@cpcbsa.org, and that'll get to the right person. And because we really want to keep these updated and fresh, this of course will also be on the web page itself. Because we'll keep that page updated too with some great tools and resources. So for instance, some units are smaller than others, right? Some units have 40 scouts, some have 10. And sometimes some of those budgets and spreadsheets and worksheets and things like that work better depending on your size unit. So anyway, all that is to say that here are a lot of resources all inside of here. And here's what's really great is that when the district has a new event or a new slide that we want to share, what's super awesome is we're going to have a slide deck that also has updates. And so it'll actually be on the master, and we'll be able to tell you, gang, if you're in Cub Scouts, go to the new slide 18 and copy paste that into your slide deck. And so anyway, it makes it a really easy resource for all of us to kind of keep things fresh and updated, and hopefully helps you plan your calendar out really easily. So that's it. Let's see here. So we've got lots of it. You can see your council resources, lots of help pages, things like that. And everything is all in here. But what's also great is kind of at a glance, we really looked at, do we do a calendar or not? Now we do have our cpcbsa.org/calendar is updated with all the latest and greatest. You can always toggle between that, but this at least gives you a general idea of all the things that are happening. And what's great is hopefully it makes it easy for you to just drop in any deadlines, any important things. I think the deadlines are really what's key. You could link to, spreadsheets that you use, budgets that you use, things of that nature. So anyway, I think that's all I wanted to mention today. What we'll do here is, I know this has been a little short and sweet, but this page here, which you'll actually see under tools, we'll actually plop that in here, and it'll actually be called program planning here. Let me refresh this real quick. I thought I'd saved that, but apparently haven't yet. So that'll actually be under here under program planning. You'll see under tools, it'll be right here under program planning, which isn't there yet, but I'll have that in there momentarily. And so you'll be able to grab that here and pull this up. And we'll have all of these links and things will be updated and whatnot. So we'll keep going through this and making sure that we have sort of the latest and greatest. A lot of the links that you see here on this page actually do link out to national. So it kind of gives you an overview of other resources and whatnot. But again, what we're trying to do with this slide deck is make it so that on a month by month approach, you can kind of see what's happening and kind of things you should be thinking about doing, because I know as a scoutmaster, a new scoutmaster, it can feel daunting, and as a previous assistant cub master, it can be overwhelming of, oh, how am I going to do all this stuff? But I feel like that what we've got here is a pretty doable. It makes it feel not so daunting. It's doable and helps you on a step by step basis sort of plan ahead. So anyway, all that is to say is this is it. This is what we wanted to show you today. And we'll have additional resources. We'll have links. So we'll send this out to everybody tomorrow in Compass Point. So you'll have that. And so check your email for that. Make sure you check your spam filters too, because sometimes it drops in there. So make sure you do that. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and toss it into the chat or into the Q&A here. Thanks so much to those who are joining us here on the live version of this webinar. I'm going to run over here to Facebook real quick here and make sure we don't have any other comments, questions, or whatnot. Give me just a second here. And it likes to always unmute whenever I do that. So we'll just do this here real quick. I'm not seeing any other comments or whatnot. Okay, good. Excellent. Well, so far so good. We have an I like it in the chat, so that's good. So thanks, Deb, for liking it. appreciate that. Hopefully this is helpful to all of you. So I'll put that link up, like I said here, just momentarily after this, and you'll be able to see it under tools and program planning. It'll be there. You can grab it, play with it, give me feedback, give us feedback on if this is something that's usable. If you have other ideas or things that'll help better, great. Let us know. One thing we notice is it's funny because there's so much now going on. Once again, is we always have a lot going on, right? So looking at a big calendar, while that's nice, is trying to figure out something that also you don't have to print all these pages out, or all these adults don't have to print all these pages. You don't have to print out multiple copies of these pages. You can just pull this right up on your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone, whatever, and you can just scroll through it with the scouts, right then and there, with the parents, right then and there. Everybody can edit it if you want. You can do it however, whatever works for you. And please give us feedback. We'd really appreciate it. All right. Well, that is it for now. Thank you again so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I'm going to share my other screen here. Give me one moment. And because this is hopefully just a really simple tool that you all can leverage, and I really appreciate any feedback, like I said, that you can give us. That would be just great. Any other questions? No more questions? Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We will be back next week. We're still working on our summer calendar. It's been a little interesting with summer camp, so there's going to be some more summer camp updates coming soon. So just pay attention, watch for that. Really important stuff, but we're getting back into it, gang. So isn't that awesome? Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you all next week.